Hello friends, now I'll be reading the Hindu editorial of 23rd March 2023 at 100 words per minute in 5 seconds. Begin 40 years after holding that the mode of executing prisoners by hanging cannot be termed too cruel or barbaric, the Supreme Court of India has now ventured to find out if there is a more dignified and less painful method to carry out death sentences. The idea of finding an alternative mode of execution, one considered less painful and involves less cruelty, has been part of the wider debate on whether the death penalty should be abolished. Judicial and administrative thinking have leaned towards backing both the idea of capital punishment and the practice of hanging. The bench has sought fresh data to substantiate the argument that a more humane means of execution can be found. There are two leading judgments on the issue: Bachchan Singh vs. State of Punjab, which upheld the death penalty but limited it to the rarest of rare cases, and Deena Dayal vs. Union of India and others, which upheld the method by ruling that hanging is as painless as possible and causes no greater pain than any other known method. The 35th report of the Law Commission had noted that while electrocution, use of gas chamber, and lethal injection were considered by some to be less painful, it was not in a position to come to a conclusion. It refrained from recommending any change. Even though the Supreme Court has not favored abolition, it has developed a robust and humane jurisprudence that has made it difficult for the executive to carry out death sentences. It has restricted its use to the rarest of rare cases, mandated a balancing of aggravating and mitigating circumstances before sending someone to the gallows, and allowed a post-appeal review hearing in open court. At the same time, it has evolved a clemency jurisprudence that makes decisions on mercy petitions justiciable and penalizes undue delay in disposing of mercy pleas by commuting death sentences to life. The question now before the court provides yet another opportunity to humanize its approach further. Empirical evidence suggests that hanging needs not result in an early or painful death, while there is a body of proof that shows electrocution and lethal injection have their own forms of cruelty. The Union government contend that hanging should be retained not only because it is not cruel or inhumane, but also because it accounts for the least number of botched up electrocutions. The real issue, however, is that any form of execution is a fall from humaneness, offends human dignity, and perpetrates cruelty. Debating the mode only deepens the moral dilemma of whether the taking of life is the best response to be taking of life. If eliminating cruelty and indignity is the aim, abolition is the answer. Abolition is the way. The issue is the death penalty itself, not merely the method of execution. The influential Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has made public its final synthesis report, which is part of the sixth assessment cycle. Since 1990, when the IPCC began publicizing its compilation of global scientific research linking greenhouse gas emissions with changes in climate, the evidence that human actions are nudging the world closer to irreversible cataclysms has only grown stronger. The IPCC's various assessments cycles have played a significant role in it. There is little by way of new information in the latest report that was made public after week-long deliberations at Interlaken, Switzerland. This is because it is synthesis of reports that since 2018 have not only bolstered the human link in warming but also analyzed from multiple angles the implications of not meeting the 2015 Paris Agreement of endeavoring to keep temperature from rising 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial times. The report stresses the need for finance to flow from developed countries to developing countries and the need to compensate countries that are poised to lose the most from climate change to help them build resilience. In a summary for policymakers, the latest synthesis report says that the planet's best chance of keeping temperature below 1.5 Celsius is to ensure greenhouse emissions are reduced to 48% of 2019 levels by 2030 and 99% by 2050. Currently, the policies declared by countries collectively, if implemented entirely, are poised to see temperatures rise 2.5 degrees Celsius to 3.2 degrees Celsius by 2100. The latest report may weigh in significantly at the next session of the Conference of Parties scheduled in Dubai in November, where a global stocktake countries laying out what they have done so far to achieve commitment laid out to the Paris Agreement is likely to be the highlight of proceedings. The IPCC reports have generally been viewed as a portent of doom, but the current report also talks about the falling cost of solar and wind power and the expansion of electric vehicle fleets. However, Paris Agreement targets cannot be met without negative emissions or carbon dioxide removal and would entail untested technologies that now appear to be impractically expensive India has welcomed the report and said that several sections underline its stated position that the climate crisis is due to unequal contributions and that climate justice must underlie mitigation and adaptation. However, India must also not ignore the other message that only a concerned effort with countries stretching beyond their comfort zones can give the planet a fighting chance to stave off the worst. Stop. Please join the Telegram group in the comment section for the PDF. Thank you.